All right, let's mount this thing on that wall. First thing we got to do is we got to do some measuring and figure out exactly where we're going to put this TV. This is a 50-inch smart TV, and we have to look and see how wide it is and how high it is. And this one here, I believe, is about, let's see, 43 inches. So we got to divide that by 2, and that's going to give us an idea of exactly where the middle is and where we need to have the middle of that wall mount when it's compressed and compact inside of itself. So let's double check and make sure we're about 21 and 22 inches, right around there. We got maybe 21 and a half. So now we've got to come up to the wall and figure out where exactly we're going to put it on that wall. Now we get a schematic that we can use so we can get an idea of where we're going to have the end of the TV sticking out. So yeah, so I'm kind of measuring off of that. And then we got to take that, put it on the wall, and figure out where we're going to drill our holes. To get an idea, I want to come about 23 inches because it's about 21 and a half, but I don't want the TV hanging over the edge. So I want to get it somewhere right around 23, 24 inches away from the edge of that window, like right about there. And then I got to check the other side because we want to try to balance it. You know what I mean? We want to try to get it balanced in the middle of the wall. We don't want it looking too far to the back or too far to the front. So we got to kind of measure that out and get an idea where we want to have it. Now you also have to decide how high you want your TV. So that's another problem too. All right, so to get an idea of where we're going to put this, I got the TV. I'm going to bring it over, and then I've got my trusty assistant letting me know exactly how high we want to put it. She's going to mark that with a pencil. And then I've got to come down about 12 inches from that mark to center that schematic. All right, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down about 12 inches. I'm going to make a mark, and then I'm going to find the exact center of the wall where we're going to put the very center of our schematic so that we can make sure that we have it at the exact right height. The kit does come with a level, but I've got a better one. So I'm going to use this very large level to make sure that I've got the schematic level and that I've got it on the right pitch. So I'm going to need a little help from my assistant. So once we got it level, then we took our pencil and we drew in all of where we're going to put our anchors. There's little holes all the way around on the schematic, and all we have to do is just go ahead and circle our pencil in there and draw them on the wall, and then we'll know exactly where we want to drill our holes. Next, we're going to double check our schematic drawing on the wall. We're going to go ahead and put the wall mount up on there, match it up to our drill holes that we drew, and then put the level on it and make sure that it's level. All right, so it looks pretty good. Now all we've got to do is drill our holes, and we're going to need a corded drill that's got a lot of power. So that's our next step. All right, you're going to notice I got a vacuum cleaner so that we can clean the mess up as we're drilling. We're going to put 4 holes on the top, and I think 2 or 3 on the bottom. Most of the weight and the support comes from the top, so we're putting 4 up there, and we're going to put tap cons in all of these drilled holes. All right, so now all we've got to do is get our tap cons up there. We're putting a washer on them too. So we're going to go ahead and slide them in to the holes just to get it to support the frame. And we're going to do all 4 on top first. You can see the washer and the tap con through it. And so we're putting 2 on the end, 2 in the middle. It's a little tight on the one side to get it in, as you can see. But we're just going to like hand tighten it, and then we're going to get the driver on it. So we're just going to go ahead and screw them in with this Bosch driver. So these tap cons are being drilled into concrete. So they're going to be in there super tight, and they should hold this thing up there with no problem. You can see how hard it's even to get them in, even though we did drill these holes. And just to make sure, we're going to grab the level and we're going to set it up there and make sure that we've got these things in properly and that we've got a good level on it. And it looks good. Looks like we're good. Let's go ahead and put this one in, crank her right down. We're going to put 1 more up there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and crank this bad boy in there. Now we've got 4 tap cons on the top, and that should hold it really well. And now all we got to do is put a couple on the bottom. And now we're ready to go ahead and put our front support onto the wall mount head. All right, so anyway, the head of the wall mount slides just under that. And then there's two screws. These two big screws with the washers are going to go on there and they're going to lock into that. All right, this will give you an idea how it all connects together. The head of the wall mount slides onto the front support centerpiece, and then we just lock it onto the brackets on the TV. Of course, after you've got the wall mount on the wall. All right, so I slide it on just like that. Now it's on there. And now I've got to screw those two screws with the washers in right there. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the screws with the washers and hand tighten them first. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab my Phillips head screwdriver and lock them down. We want to make sure that they're nice and tight and that the front support is firmly locked to the head of the wall mount. So I sped this up so you wouldn't have to watch me doing it, but I got them locked down tight, and there it is. Now it's on there. Now all we got to do is put the TV on. There it is right there. We just got to pick it up and slide it on to that support system. So you just pick the TV up, you slide it onto those bars, you make sure that it slides in to those two little hooks. On the top, I'm going to pull down my two locks, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw those in. I've got two little screws that I'm going to put on there and lock them in, but we want to center it in the middle. See there, I got to push it over a little bit, try to get that perfectly in the middle, and then I can go ahead and screw those two down. All right, all I've got to do is get my screws in there and grab my Phillips head, and we're just going to go ahead and tighten those down. We made sure that the TV was centered, and the way you do that is you just double check each side from that middle piece right there. See, I'm kind of moving it over just to make sure it's straight. And now I've got it right in the middle, and I can go ahead and lock those babies down, and the TV will stay there. It won't slide. See how I'm checking it with my fingers? And bam, we're done. All right, we got her up there, and you can see, look, it comes all the way out, 90-degree angle. I can smush it all the way back, and it collapses right up against the wall. Bam, Bob's your uncle. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other awesome videos. Peace out.